Let's do this right now. Let's do this quickly. Okay, now, we know about temperature, we know about temperature scales, etc. All right, let's do this. I'm going to just talk. Understood? Yes? Okay. This is going to be X, this is Y. A function. We need to know what the word function means. A function is like a black box. It's a machine. Okay, and that machine has an input, we say X, and we say output, a Y. Understood? Now, the X is something that we put in. It's a clean number. And the black box will do something to it. It will manipulate it. We don't know what it will do, but it will manipulate it. Clear?
Clear.
So, we control the input. The input is, we call this a variable, and we say that it is a, how do you spell this? I know how to spell independent. How do you spell independent? I always mix that up. How do you spell it? Yeah. Independent variable, right? And what's this going to be?
The dependent variable. What? Yes, I did it right.
Wow.
Independent, right? Dependent. Dependent is what is what the box does to it. Clear? If you have an experiment, all right, I'm going to talk about an experiment really quickly. I want to know what happens to a magic balloon that will not pop if I put it in an oven and I turn up the temperature. What happens to the volume of the balloon? We don't know what's going to happen. We can hypothesize what's going to happen, but I don't know what's going to happen. But the experiment is, I take this balloon, it's not going to pop, it's not going to melt, it's a magic balloon. I'm going to put this balloon in the stove, in the oven. I'm going to turn on the temperature, and the volume will change. We know the volume will rise. It will expand. It will increase, right? Yes? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, good. Now, what's independent and what's dependent? I have temperature and volume. Which one is independent and which one is dependent?
Volume is dependent. Temperature is independent.
All right. Why did you conclude that? Will?
Because if you change the temperature, the volume will change. Like if you change the independent variable, then the dependent variable will change based on how the independent.
Okay. Okay.
So it's either directly proportional or indirectly.
What do you think words?
Use 10th grade words, sir. That should be a 10th grade word, sir.
Okay, don't use words like direct or indirect yet. I will point to you, and then you can use them.
Okay, so if you point to me, I say indirect slash ins.
Or whatever, you'll know. Okay. You'll know when to say it, and you'll know what to say. Clear? Okay. But, okay, I don't want to even know how that happened. Okay, now, quiet please. The experiment is the black box. We don't know what's going to happen, but the experiment is the black box. I'm going to put something into the black box, the experiment, and what comes out is called starts with an R. Result. The result is what comes out of the black box, correct? So it's the same thing in an experiment, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, now, all right, good. Now, so, how do I know very quickly what's going to be independent or dependent? Like a rule of thumb, right here. How are you going to know? Like real quickly. That's correct. Whatever the scientist actually touches, that's going to be independent. Very good. Excellent. You get it? Whatever the scientist touches. In other words, they're touching the temperature.
We're tweaking it.
I turn on the light. I touch the switch. I touch the switch. The lights come on. Touching the switch is independent, the lights coming on is dependent. Cause, effect. Cause, independent, effect. Clear? Black box. Independent, comes out, the results, dependent, okay? Now, I want to put in Celsius, and I want to get out Fahrenheit. Yes? So I want to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. Therefore, what's going to be on the x-axis? Celsius or Fahrenheit? Celsius. Okay? What's going to be on the y-axis?
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit. Okay? We'll say degrees Fahrenheit. Now, they're going to both go from, start at 0. Rule, write this down. When writing a function on a graph, both axes must begin at 0. Absolutely, positively, 110% mandatory. Otherwise, it gives something called y-axis bias or x-axis bias. They all have to start at 0. Okay, now, so how many points do you need? How many points do you need? How many points do you need in order to draw a straight line?
2.
How many points? You need 2 points. Okay.